man hit by car on US 41.
And the fight against blight continues. I'm Caleb Scanlon.
And I'm Chelsea Birdsall, and this is your Public Eye News. The Saturday night death of a Kansas man in Marquette is still being investigated by Marquette County Sheriffs. 43-year-old Vicky Commute struck 55-year-old Paul Cox as he crossed US 41 on his way to Buffalo Wild Wings with his friends around 8 p.m. Speed and alcohol have been ruled out as possible causes by the Sheriff's Department. Chocolate Township residents are currently without power after a transformer malfunction occurred. Michigan State Police reported that the transformer was located near the Marquette prison and is currently under repair. Police warned drivers to exercise caution at traffic lights that may have been affected by the power outages. Officials urged citizens to only call 911 for emergencies, not to report power outages.
The state of Michigan has made plans to continue the fight against blight. Blight is a plant disease typically caused by fungi such as mildews, rust, and smuts. Governor Rick Snyder's office made an announcement last week that the plans made by the state have been approved by the U.S. Treasury Department. The plan is using $75 million from federal funding in 12 different cities across Michigan. The MSHDA selected the cities based on an evaluation system that included residential housing vacancy rates. In Flint, a shortage of substitute teachers are causing challenges for schools in the district. There are several elementary schools that are being combined, and many teachers are teaching during their planning periods. According to the Flint Teachers Union, there are at least 20 positions left unfilled per day on average at elementary and secondary schools. Interim Superintendent Larry Watkins says that he is confident that the issues will be resolved soon. The electronic substitute caller system has not been fully implemented yet.
27 deaths and 25 serious injuries have been reported involving General Motors vehicles with faulty ignition switches. The GM attorney hired to compensate the victims, Kenneth Feinberg, updated the totals today. Of the 178 death claims received, 27 are eligible for compensation payments. 25 of the 1,193 injury claims are eligible for compensation as well. GM admits that they knew about the ignition defects in the Chevrolet Cobalts for more than a decade, but recalls didn't start until February of 2014. The defects include the key switching out of the on position and causes the car to stall, knock out power steering, and turn off the airbags. Claims will be accepted until December 31st. The third annual Wolf Hunt starts this weekend in Wisconsin. The season starts Wednesday and will go until February 28th or until the 150 animals are killed. The Department of Natural Resources gave out 1,500 permits, 10 per every wolf in Wisconsin. 699 Wisconsin residents and 5 non-residents have already claimed their tags as of Thursday. There will be 6 hunting zones. Each will have their own allowance of kills. The third zone, which includes Barron, Burnett, Washburn, Rusk, Chippewa, Taylor, and Sawyer counties, will allow 40 kills, which is the highest limit. And after the break, we'll have your international and national news.
Next time on Finding Your Roots, actors Ben Affleck and Candy Alexander and civil rights leader Ben Jealous discover the many branches of their family trees.
Wow, that is incredible. This is amazing.
I feel like I belong to something bigger than me.
This is a man with a fire to be free. We all want to believe that we descend from somebody like that.
Finding Your Roots.
Tuesday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern.
And welcome back. Federal officials say that air traffic operations at a suburban Chicago control center that was damaged 2 weeks ago has been fully restored. According to authorities, a contract employee deliberately cut cables and set fire to a basement telecommunications room. The disruption forced O'Hare and Midway International airports to cancel thousands of flights, which also disrupted travel nationwide. Users of the popular photo-sharing service Snapchat are bracing themselves for a leak of thousands of pictures that could happen as early as today. The social media service was designed as a way to share photos that then disappeared forever. So how did hackers get their hands on this massive cache? Here's Don Dollar with the story.
Snapchat is a popular social media app that allows users to send and view photos. Part of the app's allure is its ephemeral nature. The photos and messages disappear after 6 seconds and supposedly can't be saved on a hard drive. It's an especially appealing communication tool for teenagers trying to hide their texting from their parents. Approximately 50% of Snapchat's users are between the ages of 13 and 17. But thousands of kids may be about to get schooled in how little privacy there is on social media. Last week, a site known for posting hacked photos of celebrities announced its users had gotten a hold of as many as 200,000 photos sent on Snapchat over the past several years, captured by third-party applications that can easily get around Snapchat's supposed anonymity. The company denied responsibility.
I think it is fair to assume that the internet is not a completely safe space.
Emily Dreyfus is news and opinion editor for Wired magazine.
If they're going to send something that they're not comfortable with their grandmother seeing, they should not be sending it on Snapchat.
Apple experienced a similar selfie scandal last month when dozens of celebrities had their nude photos splashed across the internet. Their private files in Apple's iCloud storage service were hacked. Actress Jennifer Lawrence called it a sex crime. But an actual sex crime might occur if any of the leaked Snapchat photos are of naked children. Don Daler, CBS News, New York.
Indiana parents are unable to meet the demands of the Islamic State group that are threatening to behead their son. Paula and Ed Kassig told interviewers today that they've been trying everything to free Abdul Rahman Kassig, who was captured in October of 2013 in Syria. Paula received audio of Abdul Rahman, formerly known as Peter, saying he was running out of time. And in an October 3rd video, a militant threatened Kassig's beheading after U.S. bombing attacks angered them. Paula says the family cannot reach the demands. President Obama is asking for federal officials to move as quickly as possible to investigate how a Dallas nurse came down with the deadly Ebola virus while treating an infected patient. The CDC is also reviewing procedures for how hospitals treat Ebola patients to prevent the spread of the disease. Adriana Diaz has more from Dallas.
The CDC wants to know how a nurse who cared for the Liberian man who died of Ebola last week at Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital contracted the deadly disease.
Clearly, there was a breach in protocol.
Dr. Thomas Frieden says the nurse treated Thomas Eric Duncan while he was in isolation. She became infected despite wearing a mask, gown, gloves, and other protective clothing. Duncan died of the disease Wednesday.
If this individual was exposed, which they were, it is possible that other individuals were exposed.
The CDC is recalculating how many more people it should monitor for the next 21 days. It's also reviewing protocols for using protective gear. On Sunday, volunteers distributed flyers in the unidentified nurse's neighborhood as cleaning crews started decontaminating her apartment. Police also issued a reverse 911 call to people within a 4-block radius.
Please be advised that a healthcare worker who lives in your area has tested positive for the Ebola virus. Precautions are already in place to clean all known potential areas of contact to ensure public health.
It's kind of crazy. We thought, they were completely protected, taking care of this person, and then they still got it. So it's kind of scary.
The CDC says it's possible others who had contact with Duncan will be diagnosed with Ebola in the coming days. Adriana Diaz, CBS News, Dallas.
1,000 rescue workers and soldiers have begun to clean up the aftermath of a powerful cyclone in eastern India. The cyclone killed at least 8 people and injured several more. The workers are clearing away piles of uprooted trees and electric poles that are blocking roads. Dozens of helicopters, aircraft, ships, and boats are ready to aid in relief operations once the rescue workers fully understand the extent of the damage that was done. And after the break, we'll have your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
On the next Makers.
Girls couldn't be astronauts because they wouldn't let us fly jets or be in the military.
Women defy gravity.
I worked on the return to Earth trajectories. You can't go to the moon if you're not going to be able to get back.
And conquer space.
At T-minus 6 seconds, the engine's light, you're going.
It connected me with this greater universe.
Makers, Women in Space.
Join us Tuesday evening at 9.
Hi, I'm Jenny Tyczkowski, and welcome back to Public Eye News. As you can see behind me, it's a cloudy day on campus with a few showers here and there throughout the day. Currently, it is cloudy with a temperature of 55 and winds out of the south-southwest at 7 miles per hour and a barometric pressure of 29.84 inches and steady. Tonight, it's also going to be cloudy with a low of 45 and winds out of the north-northeast at 5 miles per hour. And tomorrow, it's going to be rainy with a high of 49 and winds out of the north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. It's cloudy all over the UP today, as you can see. In Sault Ste. Marie, it's 53 and cloudy, 55 in Manistee, 52 in Escanaba, 56 in Menominee, 51 in Iron Mountain, 52 in Ironwood, 53 in Houghton, and 55 and cloudy back here in Marquette. Looking ahead, Wednesday is going to be rainy with a high of 49 and a low of 45. Thursday is also going to be rainy with a high of 55 and low of 49, and Friday is going to be rainy with a high of 55 and low of 44. The upcoming forecast is definitely a rainy one, and I heard the Wildcats have been getting rained on lately.
Yes, indeed, Jenny. They have continued to get poured on as they lost another heartbreaker on Saturday. The Northern Michigan University football team lost another close matchup in overtime on Saturday in interleague play against Malone in Canton, Ohio. NMU started off hot by scoring first after a 3-yard run from freshman quarterback Geronta Lewis on his rookie debut for the Wildcats. Malone later tied the game 5 minutes into the second half at 14 points apiece. NMU's answer on defense led to a 15-yard pick six by junior defensive lineman Dante Holmes later in the third quarter. The game later went into a shootout, resulting in big plays to send the game into overtime, with the game ending on a fumble by NMU after Malone's overtime touchdown score. NMU is now 0-5 in the GLIAC and look to win their first divisional game on Saturday when they take on Wayne State at home on Family Day. 1 p.m. is the scheduled kickoff. The New Jersey school superintendent who canceled a high school football season after allegations of hazing says he is weighing whether or not to restore the program after this season. 7 students face sex crime charges stemming from the alleged hazing at Sayreville War Memorial High School. Sayreville Superintendent Richard Lobb says he's not sure the football program will return based on the severity of the charges leveled against the players on Friday. Hundreds of people turned out for the rally Sunday that sought to promote unity and healing within the community and show support for the victims of bullying. Lobb says he has to look at the results of the investigation and is waiting for more information from the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office. Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers stood face mask to face mask with a teammate, screaming in jubilation at the end of a hot afternoon in Miami after the Packers won in the final seconds against the Dolphins. Rodgers had the last word Sunday, throwing a 4-yard touchdown pass to Andrew Corliss with 3 seconds left to help rally the team to a 27-24 win. Green Bay twice gave up leads and trailed 24-17 before Rodgers directed consecutive drives of 68 and 60 yards for the victory. He overcame a fumble and a 4th and 10 on the Packers' final possession and faked an intentional spike before completing the game-winning touchdown pass. The Packers won their 3rd consecutive victory, won in Miami, for only the 2nd time ever, and remain tied with the Detroit Lions atop the NFC North. The Packers will return to Lambeau Field Sunday when they take on the Carolina Panthers at 1 p.m.
Man, the Wildcats just can't catch a break this year. I said on Friday, they still haven't lost a game by more than 10 points either.
That's true. It's not like they're blowouts every game. They're just losing it in the end, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
But they might be able to pick it up. That's all the time we're going to have for you today here at Public Eye News. Thanks for watching.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.